What's up, everybody? It's me, Eman from Eman's Movie Reviews, and today we're going to review The Matrix Resurrections. Let's get into a quick intro. In this new chapter of The Matrix, we revisit Mr. Anderson as he must make a choice yet again if he should follow the White Rabbit or not. Enough of that, let's get into the good.
The good.
Now, the best thing about The Matrix Resurrections is the fact that Keanu Reeves is back in the role of Neo. Thanks to a lot of the nostalgia baked into the movie, experiencing Neo's character again kind of felt like, riding a bike after a long period of time. Although he is a bit older and a little stiffer, it really doesn't matter as Reeves pretty much owns this role. It was an unexpected treat to see some of the supporting cast step up more than anticipated. So for example, Jessica Henwick, who played Bugs, was a definite highlight. Her action scenes had to have been probably some of the best moments in the movie, and I'd probably say that you could definitely have a spin-off show or movie based on her character alone. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II was also great as Morpheus. He really brought to life his version of the character and completely made it his own. I will say, however, that it was a little disappointing to see the visual choices made with his character for the majority of the film. Now, The Matrix Resurrections, it doesn't want to be a traditional sequel, and you can tell given the plot. What I liked about it was the unique approach to be so self-aware and very meta in different scenes. There were a lot of references and jokes thrown into the movie that only the audience are going to understand. One can appreciate these callbacks not just as a fan of The Matrix, but also for the play on the philosophical theme that the entire franchise is based on. If you didn't know, it's simulation theory. It was really intriguing to learn about the aftermath and relationship between both machines and humans. This was one of the few moments in the film that I thought really captured the innovative science fiction that this franchise always wanted to be about. Alright, enough of that. Let's get into the bad.
The bad.
I really tried and wanted to like the action scenes here, but it just wasn't hitting for me. The fight scenes came off to be a little bit more of the same, more of a rehash of what we've seen so many times before. I mean, we've seen some of these things copied in Inception already. Given the vast amount of possibilities that come along with downloading various fighting styles or techniques, The Matrix Resurrections barely bothered to tap into anything that would expand those fight choreography scenes. Sure, yes, we do get some explosions and lots of guns and super powered punches being thrown, but is that really all this movie can offer? And to make matters worse, given everything this franchise has set up, it seems like even Neo has reached his limit too. Every Matrix movie introduced some sort of new ability for the character. This time around, we get a slight variation of a known ability, and the first time I saw it, I was like happy to see it, even though it was a minor upgrade. Then after the fourth and fifth time using it in the movie, I realized that Neo really hasn't grown much at all. I mean, think about it like this. For a character who literally can do whatever they want or anything they want, this was a missed opportunity to really dazzle audiences. Now, one other issue that I thought was a problem in this movie was the overly played out and saturated themes. Don't get me wrong, listen, the power of love, that concept, it's an oldie and a goodie, and it makes perfect sense on paper to make this concept the biggest difference maker between humans and machines. However, The Matrix Resurrections gets extremely heavy-handed with this theme almost to a fault. This theme probably would have worked so much better as a secondary rather than a primary focus of the film. It almost gets a little bit too corny with just how literal it's taken by the end of the movie. Alright, let's move on to the reason.
The reason.
The Matrix Resurrections is an ambitious sequel that trips up on its own trailblazing path. It's full of bold ideas, but with poor execution. I don't know, maybe it's just a matter of how far we've come, whereas we should have gotten this movie at an earlier time. It's not out of the question to suggest that Hollywood has sucked everything out of the Matrix franchise by copying everything that it's introduced, and thereby leaving not a lot for audiences to really be wowed by anymore. Maybe the lack of the other Wachowski sibling could be to blame here too. Either way, The Matrix Resurrections took a swing, and I think it did miss. It totally gets an A for effort, but it lacks that it factor that put the franchise on the cinematic map. Now, I've been a huge Matrix fan ever since it came out, and I'm not gonna lie, I will admit that my expectations going into the movie definitely played a part. I rewatched the trilogy right before watching this fourth film. I saw how the first film still to this day maintained that cinematic magic that it captured back in 1999, almost 20 plus years ago. I didn't care about the outdated CGI from the second Matrix movie because they honestly threw everything at us and I was here for all of it. And yes, I do kind of give a pass to Matrix Revolutions, the third film, because even though you had that boring Zion battle or whatever, I appreciated Neo's journey coming to an end. So naturally, I was kind of hoping that The Matrix Resurrections would learn something during its long hiatus, maybe pick up some cues from other movies over time, and really deliver us something fresh and new and visually just captivating. Alas, it just didn't stick the landing for me. And I can't even say, sadly, that I'm all that interested in rewatching this movie for a second time. So when it comes to the rating for The Matrix Resurrections, I've got to give it a 6 out of 10. I know, again, expectations, personal bias weigh in here, but I don't think that you can really just rule it out. I mean, the Matrix franchise is and was a big deal. It literally created a whole new playing field for all these action and sci-fi movies to play in. You still have movies today that are borrowing from that franchise and doing different things with it. So I think that viewers going into this movie, if you go in with like lower expectations, then this is going to be an okay watch. Just don't expect to be incredibly blown away, and I think you won't be set up for any potential disappointment. Either way, I'd still say if you're a Matrix fan especially, go check out Matrix Resurrections. It is coming out both in theaters and on HBO Max at the same time. I totally understand this movie is going to work well for some people and it might not work well for others. Either way, do you plan on watching The Matrix Resurrections? If and when you do, come on back to this video and let me know, what did you think about it? Anyway, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I really do appreciate it. If you're new here and you like what you see, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss out the next time I drop a video. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.